Okay, I am recording the session. Okay, first thing is that some people have experienced, or sometimes they have seen that when they join a tournament, even after clicking the join button, they are not getting into the tournament. Okay, so let me just first explain what kind of tournaments. We are having two types of tournaments. One is arena and one is Swiss. Okay, so so arena is where people arena is where automatic pairing happens as soon as you complete your game. You are ready to play the next game, whoever is available next, and they try to do a fair pairing, but within that whoever is available they will automatically pair. So different people might play different number of rounds in an arena, which is what we use it for practice, right? So for example, this is the L2 December class. So you have been playing in these arenas. These are all they are called arena because any number of people can come. They can play individually any number of games, etc. So you see, some persons have played 4-5 games. Some people have played 7-8 games, etc. All of that is possible in an arena tournament. Okay. Now within arena tournament, there are two things. For some, I create only for dedicated for a particular team. So only those people who are part of the team can join it. And others cannot join it. But there are other tournaments which I created a common kind of tournaments, in which case I put a password on it. So remember that password, you have to understand it. Your own login password to Lichess is different and tournament password is different. So some tournaments have a password, which means I'm not restricting it to any team as such. Anybody can participate, but you need to know the password. So obviously I will not invite anybody all over the world, but only my students. But I might open a tournament for across L1 and L2 or across L2 and L3, or there are two batches of L2, so I might combine them, etc. So in which case that password that I give along with the tournament, that is to be entered when you join that tournament. Okay, it will ask you for a password. So just in case anyone doesn't know, then this is what it is. Okay, fine. Okay, then next thing is that when people sometimes, so if you see, there are some principles of play in Lichess, and your account may get temporarily suspended if you do not follow those rules or guidelines. Okay, so I know one or two people I know got their temporary suspension. Okay, in fact you will get a notification whenever that happens. So when you log into Lichess, this is the notification, and here you will get some notification. Sometimes you will get it from the Lichess system itself. It will tell you that you are not following the regulations and hence your account may get suspended. And finally, if it gets suspended, yeah, then you will not be able to join a tournament for a few days. I don't know, the suspension might be for a week or whatever. But why does the suspension occur? There are 2-3 things that may happen. There are some regulations of Lichess where whenever you join a tournament and you play, you are expected to play the games, not resign too early, right? Not after 2 or 3 moves you leave a game, etc. That is considered as bad etiquette. Okay. Similarly, even sometimes you might be in the losing position, in which case either you should play on till you get checkmated or whatever it is, or you should resign. Okay, but it is your turn to move. You are about to lose and you don't play, but simply you let the time run out. Now what happens, that is considered as a bad etiquette, because your opponent, especially in an arena, he could have won and gone on to the next round. Now because if you do not play and simply hold the timer till you run out of time, he also gets stuck, right? And simply his time also goes, because these are all online tournaments with a limited time. So there are ways like this. Similarly, you should not try to draw a game too early. Like anyway, if you draw a game within seven moves, then they don't give you a point at all, right? So there are rules like that. So try to play and basically try to play the game to the end. Okay, there is nothing wrong in thing. So either you resign, and I'm not suggesting that you resign, but you play on till the end, but don't halt the game or don't stop making any moves, because that leaves a bad experience for the other users. And if now sometimes it may happen because of network, it is okay. And the Lichess system also does not penalize you just based on one game. But if they see a pattern that your play is not like that, or you are simply resigning too early, or just leaving the games like that, etc., then they will suspend your account. And when that happens, because I know a couple of students approached me, they are not able to join the tournament. Then I was not able to figure out. Finally, I looked at their account and I found that they were suspended. Okay, so for a short duration, again after that the suspension was revoked, but you will be able to see it in the notification. So please see it and try to avoid. Okay. Second thing I will just think is that while it is possible to turn on the engine when you are playing, but it is amounts to cheating, and there is zero tolerance for cheating. I'm not saying that anybody from this group does it, but don't even get tempted, because then your account will get suspended forever, and you will not be able to come to League.
So which engine?
No, there are, okay. So I'll show you when I'm telling you next, you will come to know. So I'll just tell. But there is a feature for analyzing the games using a chess engine online, and you should use it after your games are over. And how I'm going to explain it, it is also there in one of my videos. But please don't ever under no circumstances, even by mistake or by whatever temptation, don't turn on the engine when you are actually playing in a tournament, because it will be detected and the account will be closed. And in fact, your account will get closed if Lichess detects it. It has happened in one case in the past in my students, and that student is now no longer able to get onto Lichess at all. Okay, and hence not able to join my thing also. And I also have a similar policy, zero tolerance. So just information thing. Okay. Fine. Now, I will now go on to various features within Lichess, which will help you improve your play. So I'm going to take a quick tour of that and tell. But before that, if anyone has any questions, any.
Sir, I joined 5 minutes late. In the first half, what did you teach? Like in
No,
the
I did
first
not
half?
teach anything. This is not a teaching. This is just a question answer or clarification. And anyway, I'm recording, so no problem. You can watch the recording on YouTube. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
I'm just okay. So anybody has any doubts, questions about how to join a tournament, or I'm not able to get the next game or something like that? It happens generally.
Sir,
Yeah.
will you move over to Chess King also later? Will you
Yeah,
talk
I will
about
move on
Chess
to
King?
chess king also after Lichess. Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. All right. If no questions, then I will just take a quick tour of the various features. Okay. All right. Fine. So good that everyone is comfortable with the Lichess interface. Okay. The other tournament class that I was telling is a Swiss tournament, Swiss league, and that happens with a limited number of rounds. And I typically, the serious tournaments that I hold, I will have a I will where the tournaments have prizes, right? Those kind of tournaments I will have it as a Swiss. Okay, so in Swiss, what happens is there is a fixed number of rounds. Okay, Ishan, you want to share the screen or something? Okay, fine. So I was just going to tell. Okay, so this is a Swiss tournament, and in Swiss tournament, what happens is everybody plays exactly same number of rounds, and uh, the next round does not start unless all the previous games are completed. And those kind of tournaments, I keep it for the tournaments with prizes. Okay, so that there is first thing is that. So it is a better, so everybody should try to win all their games, and those who win with a higher percentage, right, R comes out winner, and not somebody who simply plays very fast and manages to get more points, which happens in arena. It is okay for practice, but not in serious tournaments where because if you go anywhere, serious tournaments will have a fixed number of rounds, so you have to play within that and try to win it. For example, in this tournament, everybody is playing 4 rounds, and say Madhura won 4 out of 4. So obviously she is the winner. And then some people won 3 out of 4. Some people won 2 out of 4. But nobody played 5 rounds or 7 rounds or 7 games or etc. Okay. So this is the, so even in your case, whenever I set up the tournament with prizes, it will be a Swiss league. It is called as Swiss. Okay. And you can always search for Swiss league on Google. You will come to know what is it. Okay. Fine.
And in one tournament, in one Swiss league in L1, there were 3 rounds only.
Yeah, there could be. So because there were very few number of people, maybe. So that is why it might have been 3 rounds. But normally it is like 4 rounds, sometimes 5 rounds, etc. It is there. Okay. All right. Cool. So then, okay. So I wanted to tell about how to use Lichess for improving your game. So first thing that I talked about was about the coordinates. So this is especially important for the L1 folks, level 1, and where you have to get to the your board vision, right, and what square is where, etc. So there is this training is there. So we have talked about the A1 to H8, the squares and how to identify it, etc. To get very good at it, there is this thing here. So you go to lichess.org, under learn, you go to coordinates. Okay. So coordinates, if you go, then start training very quickly. I'll give you C7 here, B4 here, E6 here, G4 here, D2 here, B6, C5, H3, F2, A3, D1, F7, H2, B7, C4, E7,
What is
D3, F5, just hold on, C3, H2, E5, D6. Okay, so I did 21, right? So if you put on the right square, then you will get to the next one and it will count, and like this. Otherwise you will have to identify. So this you can kind of practice it many times till you get it about 20 regularly on your laptop or tablet or whatever it is. So like this you can just do it. It will just throw you the things, and there are 3 modes in it. You can do it from the white side, you can do it from the black side here, and or you can do it from either side randomly. Okay, so both ways it is, and which is your side, it will show you. Like your side is at the bottom, opponent side is here, and based on that it will just keep on throwing the one after the other the coordinates, and you have to click on that square. So this is very important early on to get your square identification very right, very rapid. Okay. Is there any question on this coordinate training? There are okay, so there are a lot more. Yeah, yes.
Sir, in that place something is called exhibition. Something is there called exhibition.
Under play, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, simultaneous exhibition. So these are like where masters are there, right? Masters are so good that they simultaneously play with multiple players at a time. So those are the simultaneous exhibitions. Okay. So where some like international masters, grand masters, etc., or even some national level masters, etc., they play simultaneously with sometimes with 4 people, sometimes with 8 people. See here the photo. You see some child grandmaster is playing probably with 20 people at a time. He's just at the center. This is how the over the board simultaneous happens. So all sides there are chessboards kept, and people, there are opponents there, and one person who is playing it, he just goes around all with all the, sometimes 20 boards, sometimes 10 boards, sometimes whatever, depending on that. he keeps on making. There are rules for that and how the time is kept, etc. Because on one side, there is only one person who is moving around. So you can't just penalize him when he is not there at the chessboard. So how to calculate the time for him, etc. So there are ways, and that is what is done online. So that is what is called as simultaneous exhibitions. Okay, fine. Now you go to chess learn and chess basics. If you go, then there are very basic things. Essentially what I have taught similar to that, but there are lot of basic fundamentals, etc. that is there. That also you can learn if you want. And then there is intermediate and then pasa and advanced, etc. But this is all what do you call? All of these are like you can enter it and you can just check it. Then there is something called as practice.
I did this.
Oh, you did this? Good. See, there are these things are
Yes,
again
chess
available to you.
basics.
Piece checkmates, checkmate patterns 1, 2, 3, knight checkmates, knight and bishop, basic tactics on pin, fork, etc. Whatever I study similar to that, but there are some more examples are there. So you should try and do this on your own whenever you get time. It is not like I'm not checking it whether you have done it or not, but it is up to you for you to improve. Okay. Then there is a whole lot of puzzles. So practice is at least few, but puzzles, if you go, it is a landmine. It is like, how many are there? So there are over 7 lakh chess puzzles. Okay. So for you, and it is too much, but you can, for example, you can filter them based on, if you are early on, you are a beginner, you can start with the easiest puzzles, right? Or then you can start with, there are 5 levels: easiest, easier, normal, harder, and hardest. It is like level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of thing. Okay, so you can do, but there is also you can choose based on a theme. So when you say healthy mix, it is saying that there are 693,000 puzzles in the database, and it is automatically randomly picking up something and throwing at you to solve. But if you want to like solve specific types of things, then there are like openings, there are 61,000, middle game, rook end game, bishop end game, or knight end game, or motifs, advanced pawn, attacking f2 square or f7 square, double check, discovered attack, fork. So like this, there are classifications. And if you want to just do pin, I talked about pin tactics, etc., right? Skewers. So like this also, if you want to just practice a few of them, then you can even do that. And within that also you can do, for example, I can select pin here, and I want to study pin, and within that I want to start with easiest, right? So this is the easiest thing. So now I can try to solve it, and then if I am able to solve it much more, then I can go to next level, etc. So these are all available to you to do it. Okay, freely available with your chess Lichess account, and you will never run out of it. So many are there, and you will become really good if you do it. Okay, so I have not spent much time here, but your target should be, first target should be to get something like 2000 rating in puzzles. Okay, and then you can, don't forget on the rating, just try to use it for your thing. But for example, now here, what is your move? Let me just try to do, it is a pin. Yeah, here what I would do is I will just take it, because if rook takes it, then I'll be able to take this knight, and give a check, and then also able to win this rook, right? So I got it, success. So like this. So obviously the I can go to more slightly from, I can go, if I go to harder or hardest, there will be same theme, but it will be more tough puzzles. But you can do it, you can start with this. Okay, so, and these are like endless puzzles. Okay, then there is also you can watch other people's games. That is also sometimes good, just to watch. Like these are like masters, they are playing very fast, but some other games also you can play. These are all bullet games, or you can look at blitz. These are slightly slower than bullet, but, or you can watch rapid games which are like slightly slow. So you can, like what we play, right? 7 minutes plus 3 seconds, those will be these kind of things. And these are top people's games, so they are like very good, they play very good. So sometimes just by watching also you can improve, right? And it's a good way to see how they are playing and other people, just like you will watch. There are even slower ones, are like classical games which are very slow. So normally try to watch, don't try to watch bullet, because bullet is so fast that you will not be able to make any this out of it. But try to watch preferably rapid games that you will be able to understand what is going on reasonably at least. Okay. Then these are actual games. Then there are also, there is a huge collection of video libraries, mostly on YouTube videos, but based on various themes. Now, for example, if you want to understand some end game, you can just go to end game, and within that beginners end games or tactics or knight or rook end games, right? So see, it is just showing you, and these are all video libraries, and you can decide. But don't watch something randomly, because not, just select one theme, something, and which is especially related to what I teach, and then you can watch these as additional videos, and that will that will help you. For example, if I am teaching you tactics and I am teaching about pin, is there a pin? No. These are just tags, so you don't know. But okay, under tactics it is not there, or beginners tactics, maybe you can just. So then there are a whole lot of these videos on beginners tactics. You can watch it, right? Similarly, if I am teaching you about, let us say I taught you about openings, and I taught about Scotch game, which is what I, there a Scotch game, Roy Lopez, Najdorf. I'm sure some of you know these names, etc. of this one. Or opening traps, if you see, then you will be able to see it. So like this, there are things, not that everything may not be there what you want, but there is a whole lot of video libraries here. So you can certainly look at it and use them to understand. Okay, so it is okay. Traps, maybe you can go to traps in the openings, and then Scandinavian defense, whatever. I mean, various openings, so many things. So these are all library that is available to you when you have time and when you want to study further. Okay, so these things are available. Fine. Now let me see how much time I have got left. 7:25. Okay. Fine. What are the other things? There is analysis. See if you can go to, first thing is that how to analyze your own games. Very quickly, I will show you. Say you go to here, login on the right side top, and click on your profile. Okay, so if you click on profile, then it will show you your graphs, but more importantly, it will, all your games will be showed here. If you click on the games tab, right, it is in reverse time order. So latest game is first here. So for example, I played a game yesterday, then it is showing me, and then before that, whatever again. So all these games are available. They are always there. They are never lost. So they are recorded, and you can go to your game. For example, I might go to my game with Nitra, and so this is my entire game here. Let me go to the beginning. Okay, so this is my game. Now, if I want to analyze it, right? If I want to analyze it, I can always go for analysis board. Okay, now when I say analysis board, now I've got my game, and this is what happened. And who was white? Probably Netra was white and I was black in this game. Okay, so this is the board, and what I was telling you, the engine right here, Stockfish 12, it is the engine, and you can turn it on, then it will start showing you what it thinks of the position and what is the best move. So for example, at some point, NF3, and it is giving you the valuation also, it is giving you, right, who is how much. So bishop c5, I played knight f6, then she played knight c3, right, then I took this, then so at this point of time, it is minus 1.8. That means black is better with, or minus 1.5. So black is about 1.5 pawns higher than this one, black, than white, because I've already eaten a pawn, and it is not, so I'm giving a double pawn, plus I'm getting a good center. So it thinks that this is black is much better after 6 moves, right? So like this, it will show you. And if you want to even think of, oh, what should have happened, maybe, for example, here, you want to see what black should have done or white should have done. So you can even just play out a move which is different from what happened in the game. You can just play it and it will be inserted as a variation, and then it will, the engine is telling you what black would have played, what is the best move, but you can even play some other move and you can get the engine analysis. For example, I would have played this, and maybe if white had placed this, then I would have taken this, and then black would have done, white would have done this. So now see here, the game moves have got inserted here as a variation. Okay, instead of d3, fifth move, instead of d3, if white had played knight takes e4, then what would have happened? That's a variation here. So, and the evaluation is also there. So like this, you can turn on or off the engine. Okay, it runs in your browser. It's a JavaScript engine, so runs on your browser locally. So this also you can use it. In fact, it is, I suggest that it's a good practice to go through your games and see. First is that wherever you lost, all those games you go through and see where you could have played better, right? You can always go to your profile games like this list and go back and study your games and see where it is. So it's a good way. Okay. So that is briefly about Lichess. Okay, any questions on Lichess? Anything you want to know specifically? But there is a whole lot of things here under tools. I've just shown you one, analysis board, but there is also opening explorer. For example, you can always go to opening explorer, and if you want to study the openings, then here it starts with, you can just start playing and it will, why it is not?
I think you have to click the book.
Yeah, I think I have to. This one, huh? Yeah, it is. Right. So it is showing you all the replies and what is the statistics. How many white won, how many draw, how many black won, etc. And what are the most popular moves, it is showing it in sorted order. You don't have to start from the beginning, but assuming you want to learn about the open games, NF3, NC6, and what happens after white plays bishop c4 and black plays knight f6. So it will show you white typically plays d3, white plays knight g5 or d4 or knight c3, etc. And if you want to know what black can do after knight g5, because it is threatening f7, right, it is showing you that the most popular move for black is d5. Okay, so it is showing you, and then what happens. So like this, it shows you, and it also shows top grandmaster games in this variation, in this what happened. So all of that also it is showing you. So if you click it, then you will directly go. Now I don't suggest that you go to the grandmaster games because it is too advanced to to understand and too complicated. But few moves in the opening, if you want to just see this opening trend also, it will tell you what are the options that are there and what happens when something else happens also. So it's a way to learn. I don't suggest too much time you spend on openings because you have to understand end games and tactics more. But I'm just telling you that there is a tool that is available if you have time and if you want to study and whatever, there is a lot of things to study and improve. Okay. All right.
Sir, we also have board editor in.
Yes, board editor is a thing where you can go into any position. Board editor, what it means is you can set up the board. Suppose you wanted to analyze a particular position that happened in your game or somebody else's game and whatever it is. So either you can start playing out the moves and then edit it here, or you can simply set up the position by clearing the board and put white pieces, black pieces, and then put who is to move, and then you will get the position, and then that also you can analyze with the engine, right? So that way also you can do it. For example, I can just put white king here and a pawn here, and let us say black king here, and now I want to say white to play, or it is, let us make it black to play, and all of this is, and suppose I want to continue from here, right? Play with a computer or play with a friend. Let us say play with a friend. I can do either way. Then I can choose to play with a friend also, starting from any position, right? It could be opening or end game or whatever it is, and then I want to I want to play what? I can play that also, or I can play board editor. I can go clear board, and again let me just put it, or I want to play against the computer or analyze with the computer. That also I can do it. White to play, let us say, and let us say analysis board. Now I can turn on the engine if I don't want. Otherwise, I want to play out my own games. Then I will just see what black does, right? And then now it is thinking, it is showing you already that this is a draw, but in middle game positions, it will not be able to tell you. But this is how it is. Okay, so a lot of things you can do it. You can, starting from any position, you can play. Now, if you know the end game well, then you will play which move? You will play this move here. So that is a drawing move. Okay, but there are other ways also to draw, but generally this is the good way. Or if you had gone here, then I would have played here. Then also you can draw. But yeah, I mean, like this you can set up and you can explore. There are also a lot of videos on YouTube which explain how to use the features of Lichess. That also you can do it. There are other things also that you can do it, but I will explain it when you reach the next stage. There is something called as studies, but that is a slightly advanced topic, and how to, I will explain it when you are about to complete L2. That time I will explain. Okay. All right. So now what I will do is I want to also cover Lichess. Now I will just end the session here right now, and within 2 minutes I will open it up again. In case you want to take a bio break or whatever it is, you can do that, and I will just take another 10-15 minutes. Again, it is optional. I am going to record everything, but in case I think it is a good idea to watch it on how to use the Chess King thing. So we will just do it as the second part of this one. So let us what do you call? I will stop the recording